right, so today here at Talk.dance, we are going to be talking about dance movies, right? Or movies about dance, or even maybe a sidebar of dance on TV and how that's like our favorite movies or our favorite scenes or whatever, and how that impacts either us or the culture and so on and so forth. So I'm very excited to get into that. So let's start, jump right into it. Michelle, what is like a favorite dance movie or clip or something of yours?
Oh, there's a lot. And, I'll be completely honest that I'm not a huge movie buff, but of course, being in this industry, you kind of know a few dance movies. Mm-hmm. And I think most importantly, I am more intrigued with the feedback or the connection that comes from students in the dance world because of movies, which is a big part of our little plug in conversation here. People, the notorious line, which I use all the time on the dance floor and teaching, is this is my space, this is your space. So we're right into Dirty Dancing, which would be way up there on the top of the list of the movies.
Yeah, because nobody puts baby in the corner. Come
exactly.
On.
So there are things that are just where people connect, right? They love the emotional side of that movie, the dance ability of that movie. And then there's these quotes that are timeless that will always be a part of either my instruction or where they connect between the movie and then themselves. So all of a sudden now they're part of that experience.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. I don't necessarily I actually like when dancing pops in unexpectedly. Those are my favorite moments. Right. I enjoy the classic dance films like Dirty Dancing, right? Even the second one, Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, as much as it was not a great movie, I enjoyed the dancing in it and stuff like that. So I'll watch all of those movies, even Grease, because there's some dancing musical numbers in there, like the whole shebang. But I actually personally prefer it when it's random dancing in something that's not toted as a dance movie.
Right, absolutely.
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman.
Exactly, Scent of a Woman. That's one of my favorite scenes ever.
And the connection too of the music that goes with that, right? When they hear those, when they hear those tangos and they hear the Gotan Project or whatever is playing, it's just like, oh, it takes them right to that movie.
Yeah, and like you said, the connection. I was just teaching this lovely lady who was obsessed with tango. She wanted to learn Argentine tango, and she was animated and fun. But like you said, the minute a song came on that she specifically liked, the whole demeanor changed. Like she lit up, she was ready to go, like she was so excited to dance. And it was from a movie. It was that scene from Scent of a Woman, and she recognized a song, and she immediately went to that place and was just on cloud nine. So,
and there's a little, I'm going to take a moment, and I know it's a mild tangent, but it's relevant, is that we are drawn to dancing to things that we're emotionally connected to. So when we have songs that are somewhat ambiguous and unrelated to our life, they're songs, they're great, the rhythm's there, the beat's there, fine, we can dance to it. But when we have a connection to it, it's so much more on the heart and the soul and the feet and everything. So when we have connections through movies and songs that are related to that, huge. Footloose, everybody loves the music from Footloose, and they want to, you're the man who loves swing, there you go, people are all over that.
Yeah, I remember
Richard Gere. There's another one. There's great music in that.
Yeah, almost said as a kid. This is totally not true because I didn't start dancing in my 20s. But as earlier in my dancing thing, we used to love Swing Kids. The dancing is absolutely atrocious in it because you either get a good actor who can't dance, or you get a great dancer who can't act. So you got to figure out which one you want. But we would always watch that to get ready and get pumped to go out dancing. And so if I hear either Sing, Sing, Sing or Shout and Feel It, I'm immediately like, I hope you're not dancing with me because I'm just a ball of energy. I'm just so excited and I'm kicking and flying and everything's going everywhere. So I totally agree with what you said, the connection.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of dance. David, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this. I've appreciated different dance movies at different points in time for different reasons. So before I was really into dancing, things like Saturday Night Fever, some of those things that John Travolta did on the floor were really pretty amazing. And you go, wow, that's really cool. And it's impressive and it's inspiring. Or things like Shall We Dance, right? It's kind of cool. But as I got more involved in dance, I've like appreciated different aspects of some of the films. So there's this Australian film that's fairly popular in the dance world. It's Strictly Ballroom, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Oh yes, no
And,
new
and
moves.
it's kind of over the top, but it kind of pokes fun at a lot of things that really happen. And one of my first instructors is this Australian guy. I mentioned to him once before, Clive Phillips.
Oh yeah.
And he actually used to date one of the actresses in
Oh wow.
that film. I found out, but there's kind of an element of truth to a lot of these things that they kind of poke fun at. The makeup and the people are like just going crazy and having breakdowns and stuff like that. So I thought that's kind of cool. And then there's films where you actually see real dancers in them that you know of. Like there's a film, Love and Dancing. It's a West Coast swing. And it's got Jordan Frisbee and Tatiana Molman in the background, right? They're not the main actors. Or Shall We Dance has Tony Devolani from Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
He's this one obnoxious character who's like pulling the one fellow's wig off and the toupee. And you can see, obviously, he's a good dancer, right? It's interesting to spot that kind of bit of trivia, right? The movie trivia, like, oh, I know that's a real dancer, right? Of someone of note. So that's kind of cool. And then I do kind of enjoy some of those films where you get the iconic lines, like in, as you said, even though it's not a dance film really, but Scent of a Woman, the woman, he's asking her on the dance floor and she says something to the effect that, well, I'm afraid. And he says, I'm afraid of what? Well, I might make a mistake. He says, there's no mistakes in the tango. If you get tangled up, you just tango on, or something to that effect, right? And it's just this great line. So yeah, I enjoyed, but I think the dance movies are so often an inspiration to get people started in dance, right?
Oh,
And
I agree.
think that's really great. And some of them maybe more than others. I think Dirty Dancing was a huge one.
Yeah. I think in that respect, not only do movies get people excited, but also TV, right?
True.
When I was teaching, when Dancing with the Stars came out, I noticed a lot more calls to me or to businesses about wanting to learn ballroom dancing, specifically ballroom dancing, because of the TV show was so popular. And I think in modern culture, once that hits, then now that influences everyone to go out and dance.
It suddenly became much more cool and much less of this odd niche thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would agree with you on the studio side that you definitely get an influx of calls and interest and desire to dance and want to try it. The other atmosphere of that whole vibe of the TV thing is that people connect to the actor side of these people and they're like, oh, well, they're trying it. So if they can do it, I can do it. And, maybe they're a really iconic sports figure.
Right.
A lot of the football stars and the baseball stars, all of those guys. So the guys here, you've got your male ego going along, everybody's got one. And they see these guys out there doing this, and then they feel a little bit more like, okay, well, if it's cool for him to do it, I could give it a shot. And that is the ticket to get them to try it. And then once they're in, you're done, right? That's all you need.
That's it. Once you get them in the door, right? Then they're hooked, because they were already hooked before they called you. That's why they called you. Yeah.
Exactly. So the shows have been huge, because the shows, just like when there's movies that have actors that are related to, there has to be some connection. They either like the actor or maybe they like the sportsman, right?
Mm-hmm.
The football player.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big reason to feel a little bit more connected to giving it a shot. So yeah, it's definitely relevant.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of curious what our audience thinks and what their favorite dance movies are. So we're gonna put up a poll on our website that you'll be able to find at Talk.dance/movies. We will announce the results of that after we run that. We'll run it for a few weeks. Yeah, please go there and just vote on your favorites.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear, right? Because of the favorites of the circles you run in through, right? Or that you're in. So you talk about your favorites, but I'm super excited of how far this reach is going to go, and hopefully maybe hear about a dance movie or a dance clip that I've never heard of. Be like,
it could go all the way back to like West Side Story, right? We could go back way back. And we could turn around and go to one. I don't even know how this happened to me, but it fell in my lap as I was watching TV, and it was called Cuban Fury. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I've heard of it.
Not familiar with it.
Not familiar with it. Super. Couldn't name you. There's one actor in there, but again, I'm terrible with names. But it is. It's a great story, just because it's more about this older guy who sort of used to dance as a kid, but I think he was like a competitor as a child, and then danced with his sister, turned around, left the dance world, got embarrassed, and his friends made fun of him, which happens, right, when they're younger, especially if we're talking about the younger generation of dancers. And so he left it, but then he wanted to date again. So he was like, okay, I got to get back in there. And so he really does a lot of salsa, and he does a lot of Cuban style dances. And he goes back in to learn. And it's just a really funny story as he finds himself again through dance, but it also allows him to find confidence and do so many other things. Awesome. It's a really good one. It's called Cuban Fury.
Cuban Fury. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, it's a good one.
For me, I think as far as like I'll watch a dance movie, everything from West Side Story to Saturday Night Fever to like anything, Grease, or May I Have This Dance, or all this other things. If it's a dance movie, I'll at least watch it, because in being a dance teacher, it's the culture that I'm in, so I at least have to know the reference. But I would say out of all the movies, I think I just said it, May I Have This Dance, or Shall We Dance, the Richard Gere one.
Right.
I will say, as far as knowing an actor who doesn't have a dance background, I think the dancing in that was most believable, most solid, because his frame was good. They had nice presenting lines. Like, it was very much a real representation of a regular person coming off the street and getting them ready for a competition. So that's one of my favorite movies in that regard.
And that's a great point. I just watched a clip of actually Richard Gere just going around the dance floor. And you're right. He had a really nice top line. He was holding himself well. And it's like, okay, we've got some actually good, decent dancing going on. And this is from an actor who's not a dancer. So it lets people relate to it yet again.
So fun fact, I know the woman who trained Richard for that film.
Oh, wow.
Karen McDonald is her name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can maybe get her on at some point.
That'd be amazing. Oh, that'd be so amazing.
David, how do you know? You have a lot of connections here, sir. I'm always really like, okay.
I'm just special.
Well,
I know I'm special because I know you two.
Oh, man. Listen, dude, are you selling me a car right now? Come on.
Honey on it.
Swampland in Florida. So we'll put that poll out. I think the poll will try to, because it's otherwise it might be too wide, we'll try to focus on the films that really are about partner dancing.
Okay.
I was putting together a list, and the ones I could think of, it was already getting fairly long. But we'll have people vote on those, and we'll put a write in as well, because I'm sure there's ones that might be really great films and favorites that I haven't heard of, or none of the three of us have heard of. But yeah, we'd really love everyone's feedback on that.
Yeah,